p.m.
7:11 p.m.
Excellent. All right, Elena is with us online. She's on the train, I believe. So, all right, so did everyone get James's minutes for
Yes.
the last meeting?
So it's a little tricky because there's the July minutes there.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was no meeting in August, and technically the September meeting was not an official meeting.
Correct.
Because we didn't get posted in time, so all that we can vote on is the July meeting minutes. Which you do have.
Yes.
Which was so long ago.
I did send them back out just to make sure.
All
But
right.
did anyone have any questions or
I
concerns with
didn't
this?
know. I thought it was fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, sorry, one thing. Is it GLRA or GRLA? Wait,
Oh, no. Did I screw that up?
Yeah.
GRL.
all right, so anyway, they just juxtaposed.
Then
Just.
I will fix that.
Correct.
Well, Shostakovich. Okay. It's, a famous musical composer.
Right, exactly.
All right,
So I will put forward a motion to accept the minutes with the grammatical correction that I will do this evening.
I just noticed it.
all right, all in favor? Excellent, okay. So that's fine, so yeah, last meeting was not an official meeting since I did not post it, however, this meeting today is posted. So. Feasibility study trustee comments, we just kind of, I just sent it to the trustees this afternoon. And at the meeting, we kind of mentioned to them that we were very happy with it, that we, decided that we'll let them review it and that we could discuss it at the next meeting because we had a lot of things to discuss at the trustee meeting, so we kind of were running over a little bit, but, we mentioned to them that our next steps after, once the trustees approve the feasibility study, is to bring it to the capital planning committee, which we've already discussed that. So, we didn't really get any comments back from them yet, but we plan on discussing it in a little bit more detail next month.
I will say from a bigger town perspective, there are other groups or organizations that are looking to understand their building and what's their building going to be for the long term. I'll use the fire department as an example. They're in the process of requesting funds for a feasibility study as well, so that they can understand where they need to be to meet the services of the town in the future. That's exactly what it's for. The town, at least in a couple different meetings, pushed back and said, that's cool, but let's figure out kind of where we stand on what that bigger picture looks at, and then we can earmark some money for that likely next fiscal year. So we're actually in a really good position timing wise, because we're coming forward at the same time that the abacus analysis is happening for the senior center and locations. And we can say, all right, folks, senior center, rectory, however that structure looks, we've got some smart plans here. What's the best way to go forward? Mm-hmm. So I know we still got that step with the trustees that we have to go through, but timing is actually, I think, pretty good for all that to come together. So yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm trying. I'm sure my hopes will be dashed, but I am optimistic. And obviously we'll learn a lot once we see kind of what comes back from that abacus study as well. Sorry, I do.
No, did not.
Yeah,
We
we
did
did
not.
last week and they've got nothing yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, interesting.
Because I think, was Jeremy at that meeting?
No, Jeremy will be in the November meeting.
November.
Okay.
Okay, because he did mention, like, if we wanted to attend, because we're going to attend. I don't know if that's useful for us, because I just don't know if it's useful for us to attend it at this point. I think we kind of know what Abacus was looking at in terms of.
Yeah, based on what he explained.
Options.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that there was anything we could add particularly. But anyway, he did mention that there was going to be that. And I was thinking that at that meeting, I'm assuming they're going over the abacus options.
Do you have the date on that meeting?
I only have the council on aging meeting. I don't know when the meeting is for the group that's looking at what advocacy.
Gotcha, okay, thank you. I'm available, I'll go. I'm happy, 'cause I'm very curious.
I was just thinking the same thing, but I don't know. Depends on when it is, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, this is gonna be, in many respects, a united front, you know, to try to figure out how to get the taxpayers to,
Right.
right.
A lot of experience.
yeah.
It's,
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know the issues with the senior centre.
Sure.
You know, like, it's not handicap accessible.
right.
That ramp has got to go. It's, you know, the wheelchairs can't do the turn.
Mhm,
Then there's no safe exit.
right,
There's still stairs within the building, although there's a chairlift. I don't know how anybody with a in a wheelchair could use a chairlift.
right.
Oh, right.
Something has to give. I think, but, you know,
That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to see what they come back with. It's good, gotta keep pushing.
who? It's not posted yet, that, the date?
I don't know, it would, Phil is the one, Phil Sibley's the one, so I group that goes to it, runs them.
I'll poke them,
You
okay,
do,
yeah.
You know, so for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
he's the one that doesn't let it go.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. and,
Absolutely, right.
You know?
Is he the one that won the Friends round?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought just putting a face with the name.
Cool, I'll reach out to him.
I mean, if it's a night, I can go.
Yeah.
I don't have, I just didn't know if there was anything we needed to.
I don't think it's something necessarily that we would add, but it's obviously always good to
Have a sense.
have a sense of what they're thinking for our next meeting, so that we can discuss how it potentially plays into what we have going on, you know what I mean?
Agreed. And this is the fun part of the subcommittee, where we get to realize that we've done all our hard work, and now we have to pause until other people make choices. Well, sorry, I was gonna derail again. See, this is, you just gotta tell me to rein it in. Do you want me to derail?
You could derail.
Okay. Next step.
Item 3 is.
Next steps. Parentheses, James derails. I'm sorry. In my brain, the next steps, obviously, we gotta wait for the trustees to do their review and move that forward up to capital planning and select board. But also, I wonder if there's a way that we can start doing some more of the research. And actually, Elena sent me some of the material on different projects that have and have not been approved and passed through the town and whatnot. And I'm
Oh,
compiling
yes, we talked about that.
a larger list so that we can have that as support, you know, moving forward, like where we are using money versus not, what's getting approved and what's not. But also starting the, well, I was gonna use the term propaganda, and that's the wrong word. But the open dialogue with the taxpayer about
An information campaign.
informational campaign, excellent use. of the
Nice
term.
use of words.
That's far better than what my brain is saying. But in that informational campaign, really outlining where we are, where the numbers have been driving us for programs,
Mhm.
but also where the dollars will be going if we don't do something with the building. Like if we just keep on leaving it there,
Right.
it's money going down the drain. So, I'm working on that list of like the different projects and whatnot. I think we can maybe start taking some time and really kind of compiling, as silly as it is, but like graphs and spreadsheets of all the different programs and like the amount of people we have coming through.
We keep all the numbers.
Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet that I look at each month for what I include in the report, so
Yep.
we definitely have done.
And we're using the parking lot.
Mhm.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've gone by a few times and I don't know that I've seen a spot. Like there's a couple times when it's been full
Yeah.
almost all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah, we need numbers, we have.
And when I'm talking to my friends, and it's like, have you been to the library? Have you been to the library when there's a program on? Have you noticed how noisy it is? But then you think close the space.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Maybe part of the noise.
Oh, I hear you down here. The first and third Wednesday of the month.
Well, we had a program, an intense program.
But that's,
But
like
it's
what we're talking about in the other meeting, that's what's amazing about this library, is that we're an open community that has active people having fun and having,
Right, we're not your typical library.
dialogue and, with different programs that are gonna cause noise and a ruckus.
Yeah, we had a science program at 4:30 today. Like 6 or 7 kids, but oh man, they're having a great time. Like, I don't even know what she was mixing up, but she had like balloons that were inflating on tops of bottles and it was great. Kids were having a great time, but it's like, if we had a separate room, great, but that's not how it works. And
Yeah.
the noise is gonna be there. It just is. Sometimes the noise is there, even when there isn't a program.
That happens.
It does,
I've already, yes, I never counted.
I think that was from this week.
Wow.
I almost took.
Imagine not knowing how to deal with that. I just, wow. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so.
we can work on getting you
Absolutely.
into the FBI's negotiating team training, so that you can learn how to de-escalate circumstances, and yeah, absolutely. There's,
Well, Monica wanted to help de-escalate.
I would, I
I
was,
don't know if that would even work.
I would have loved to go upstairs, but then I thought, don't do it, don't do it. You wouldn't want me to pin it down?
I don't know if it would have worked.
I don't know either. I think Paula Perlman, she would have been needy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Very
You're right.
very nice job.
You're right.
Paula
Paula,
Perlman could
Yeah.
probably be.
Yeah.
For such situations or that kind of deal, she would have the right person.
Yeah.
Sorry, once again, I have no words.
it's okay.
It's okay.
But so there you go. But yeah, absolutely. Noise issues.
So going back to the informational campaign,
Yes.
I think it's a fabulous idea. My only concern is we need to be very careful on, say this, like focusing on our needs without putting any negativity in it. Does that make, am I saying that right?
Yes,
So like, we don't want to be, we want to say what our needs are and what our focus and our goals are without saying, like, we don't want it to come across as we're rah, 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 you have to do this. We don't want a senior center, because that is not the case.
The adversarial piece.
Yeah, so like, I just, like, we need to be very careful, or rah, 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 we don't want a new fire station. They don't deserve it because we need this.
Growing needs.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And preserving what we have and being mindful of fiscal.
Fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, fiscal
Right.
responsibility,
Okay,
yeah.
good. So those are good buzzwords, fiscal responsibility. What did you say? Growing?
Community
Community growing needs.
Mhm.
and
Were you an English teacher by any chance? You're like very.
Well, I'm English and I did.
I think it's the first.
No, but you're very good with words.
Love it.
Yeah, that's in trouble all the time. If we could add preservation.
Yeah, good, yeah.
Yeah,
and
but yeah, I agree with, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I just don't want it to
We
come
wanna stay
across-
stay in our lane.
Yes,
What is our lane? Our lane is the library.
Right,
And because the seniors.
right,
It is a growing community, seniors, medicine is expanding.
right.
And we have growing needs.
Right, and if the town feels that we need to combine our efforts and then that's a totally different story, and that's totally fine.
Yep.
We don't want to come across as we're not for working together as a town and a community. That's, you know what I mean?
I mean, we have an easier way of connecting the departments here, then let's say the schools. The schools have an obligation toward the community, but they are not taking that responsibility so serious because you are required to pay. If you're renting space there, you're from the community. I remember the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, you had to make your reservations and you got charged for events.
Mm.
They were on Sunday, you got charged. So I'm thinking, okay, for this building. Right.
Sure.
So I guess yeah, I was just on Sunday, but we have the senior center, we have to put an annual raffle basket for the people that use that facility.
Oh, you're right, yes, yeah, but that's nothing compared to when you're charging $200 a day. Right.
I think, I don't even know what.
I think the other thing is too, our ideas are coming because we have this existing building that is attached to our building that makes sense to continue it to being ours. It's not big enough, to be honest, to share. It's not, and it's not that I don't think that, you know, if the town wants to knock this down and build a giant facility that's gonna house both the seniors and the library, then that's a totally different story, but just to preserve that building and turn that building into something else is not big enough to make it both.
Right, no.
And I think everybody,
Not the size of the existing senior center.
no,
Exactly.
not even close.
No.
So I think everybody understands that. But I just, when we do this campaign, we just have to be very aware of how we're presenting ourselves.
Yeah, we're preserving what we have.
Yeah.
Before we have to tear it down and have nothing.
Right.
Just to build for.
So something else that should go in there, the costs to tear it down.
Sure, yeah,
Mhm.
because there's cost for everything, just leaving it there and maintaining. There's cost for tearing it down, and then there's cost for renovating.
Yeah.
All three, absolutely.
And the
Yeah.
tear down cost is not cheap.
It is
No.
not.
No. Okay.
I do want to compliment us as a group. One, we had an extremely short timeline and we were able to get an exceptional product out to the community and for the community.
Yeah.
And really make it happen. And also because we're good at annoying the way that we are, you know, the towns started changing how they approach things. You know, there's now, you know, a facilities manager and they're
Right.
looking to get an asset manager so they actually understand what they have in the town. Well, that happens because groups like us say, "Hey, we got stuff and we're not doing anything with it. So
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Makes me smile.
And in making sure this happens very fast, let me just tell you that Chatham's, the senior centre in Chatham have got approval for their renovations. And it has taken so long in the timeline that their new cost is 2 million more than budgeted.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a problem
It
too.
needs
Right.
to be timed.
yeah,
That's a problem too.
very true.
$2 million more.
Well, that's what I was actually, in our costs, when they had the 15% markup, you know,
Yeah.
for timing and, you know, growth like that. I understand why they did that amount, that percentage. It makes logical
Yeah,
sense, because
definitely.
how long it can take to get something approved.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Can you threaten people with that amount? And say, get you to school?
Well, that is one way to approach negotiation.
Right.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's like, prices are not going down.
No.
No, definitely not. So, okay, so then we know that the things we know are James is putting together, compiling that list of projects in town that have either been approved or didn't get approved and why and what the numbers were and all that kind of stuff. We can start putting together ideas for an informational campaign and how we want to go about presenting that. And then Obviously, we have to, once we meet with the trustees next month, which we decided on the 13th of November. But for you guys to be aware, Lee made us aware that it's the day after the town meeting. So most likely our meeting will be that same, but we can talk about, I don't know.
Yeah, that's up to us as well. If we don't think we have anything actionable for, between now and,
November.
November, we can pass a month and then come back in December. That might give us some time to pull together more of the data.
Yeah,
And by then we'll know that the abacus presentation will have happened. So we'll actually have a lot more information.
yeah, that's true, because the abacus might end up being the week after, like, it's probably not prior to the town meeting. It's very possible it's not.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, it may make sense to pass on November and shoot for December.
Okay. Oh, so that's good.
Well,
What day did you say the November
The
meeting?
November trustee meeting is the 13th of November.
Okay,
But we can, like, I'm totally fine with passing on November and just, just having our,
yeah, it makes sense.
yeah, because that'll give us some time. It's
Yeah.
gonna take me a while to pull together all the projects, so. That's my
okay,
sit down in the evening.
all right, so let's say that we're going to have the next Rectory subcommittee meeting on December 11th, because I'm assuming that's when the trustee meeting will most likely be anyways, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
So December 11th for the next Rectory subcommittee meeting, we're gonna skip the month of November.
at 1900. 7 o'clock.
Oh, I was like, what?
It's a military time.
But it would just be 19 o'clock. Nobody would say 19 o'clock.
Oh, don't you do that. Oh, no. Oh, don't say 19 o'clock.
19 o'clock.
Oh, there's certain hardwired things in my brain.
That's it.
Wow, you just pinged that one. That was good. Congratulations. 1900. Oh, that's funny.
All right, so Rectory Subcommittee at 19:00.
Yeah,
Sorry, God. 7 p.m. Oh, we'll go 7 p.m.
and,
Mohawk's coming back. You guys see Steve's coming through.
and then James, you're gonna find out and let the group know in case anybody else might be interested in attending the
Yes,
advocates meeting.
yes, I will reach out to Phil.
Okay. Yeah, because to be honest, like, if they're gonna attempt to try to get something like that in prior to the town meeting, like, that they have so much going on with the town meeting that
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna try to wait till after, that's what I would do, but,
I do know that the Council on Aging is pushing to use some of the free money for the stuff that absolutely has to be done now.
right.
So,
Oh, as far as the abacus stuff, you mean?
no, before the.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Fixes at the senior center.
Fix this now, yes, agreed, so that should be the priority anyways. Okay. Okay, so.
What are we forgetting?
Somebody else has something they want to add?
I just had a quick question with the, because we talked about presenting this at the capital planning board
Yeah.
meeting. But we didn't have a specific date.
No, not at all.
Somewhere down.
Yeah. We need to
So that would
see,
be like first.
yeah, so we need to see too, I think, what this whole abacus thing
Well, how it plays.
out.
Right.
And yes, we want to still be on the minds of the capital planning committee, which we already are. But we, like, this abacus thing is a bigger thing than
Right.
this right now. So we need to see how that plays out anyways.
Yeah.
I was oddly excited that they were really evaluating all the options and the other structures, because it really can help lay out to the taxpayer better. Here's what here's why we were really going down this road,
Yes.
both for senior center and
And
for
the
library.
right,
And it helps better articulate, hey, yes, we really have been doing our due diligence, and, here's the proof, and let's figure out something smart, so,
right.
yeah, I see nothing but positives. I mean, it's still gonna be hard.
A coordinated town plan indeed.
Yep.
Was Atticus tasked with, like, so for example, was it a police station or was it a fire station that was sort of?
Yep, the way going back on, what's the name of the road?
Morris.
Yeah.
Were they tasked with coming up with other ideas for that building, or just in every instance, the locations that they looked at, like what else you could do with it, or was it just specifically senior center related?
It was senior center related. My understanding the scope was evaluates, existing town facilities, land and options for the senior center. And obviously within a spectrum of like, not an existing library. So, using something that's either wasn't completed.
I just didn't know, I understood that it was really supposed to be, the focal point was supposed to be the senior center. I just didn't know if they were gonna have, but here's what you could do with this.
They might.
I don't know, I was just curious.
A good architect
So, yeah,
never
so-
turns away opportunities to be like, hey, you could do this too.
Right.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I feel like when it was first presented to us, I kind of thought what Andrew was saying, that they were looking at all the town's spaces, and yes, their focus was because we're trying to come up with a place for a new senior, a viable place for the new senior center, but they were also saying, well, why is this place not being used? What else can we use it for?
Right,
Kind of thing.
because they're gonna have to cross that bridge eventually.
Yeah, I thought that's how it was initially presented, but I could be.
So, I mean, I was definitely very much in that whole senior
Yeah.
center. They did look at that building and it's just not viable at all for use, the senior center. The problem with where we are now is there really isn't enough room for expansion, for what we needed.
Right.
Let me just say parking,
Right,
right?
Understood.
We do park on the other side of the road and it's a really good idea to have seniors crossing a major road.
Well, that is-
It's not a parking lot,
Sure.
it's the business across the street.
Right.
It's-
and it got smaller, like you used to have a bigger space to park there, but they've taken up half of it. And the business has taken up half.
Well,
It's
they
theirs.
took back their own parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, I know, that's what I mean, and you guys have even less spaces.
It's land next to it, so that is part of the things we're looking at, is being able to move into the land next to the building and use it parking.
It's not optimal to be crossing the business road to get to the street.
And now.
And you have to have police detail,
We have to
right?
have police detail, and I think it costs us many hundreds to do that.
I'm sure.
Yes.
What about those orange homes that were just in the middle of the road? Didn't they work?
I'll tell you the one that had to run.
Yeah, but no, the police detail, that's another expense, and that's coming out of, I would assume, your budget, because it's an event for you, right? Or not you personally, but you know what I mean?
It comes out of it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree, that's not a viable option,
And
so,
the one that's up the corner, the road to Oakdale, that property we looked at.
yeah,
But that does not have permission for a town building to go on it, so you'd have to be jumping through hoops.
Oh, change zoning.
You
Sure.
have to change the zoning on
Yeah.
that, so that was. And then, of course, you've got that huge land on the corner that is already zoned for town. It's, going down.
Sure, yeah.
Plus, it's a quieter road. North is much quieter than Providence. The traffic going.
Okay,
all right.
so I'll go holler at Phil. I'll find out that meeting. I'll keep pulling together the spreadsheet, the list of projects. Cool. Sweet. What else are we missing? Other than that.
Do we have in the old feasibility study the cost of, well, they're too old though. Of
We
what-
need to get actually old feasibility study back from GRLA.
Okay, I'll reach out. I'll
And
reach
and
out
the
to them.
plans. 'cause they
Yeah.
took all the-
Because they
I'll
did
reach
have,
out to
if you ask me if they had costs in there,
They did.
yes, they definitely did.
And that would be a good.
Cost to tear it down, because that was the
Oh.
initial,
It was a full tear down.
it was a full tear down,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
But
I
it,
don't know if they broke it out, that, I mean, like, if it was just like a.
Okay.
A single cost.
Person could tell you, because there's always one of your costs for a big building.
right,
And that's just a building, I mean, it's not.
I just don't know if they had a cost.
Resident.
yeah.
But once again, that was done in 2020, so if you wanted the same cost,
Right.
forget it.
Well, I think that would be a good, like, if we had done this
Mhm.
15 years ago,
Yeah, sure, oh, sure.
was it 20?
Oh,
20,
5 years ago.
If it was done 5 years ago, this is
Yes.
what the cost was.
Now that we've waited,
Now that we've waited,
it's now this, right?
and now,
Actually, it might be cheaper,
Maybe,
because we're reusing.
maybe
buildings.
because it's being reused.
Yeah.
So there's your
The
difference.
price is actually maybe closer than I thought.
But even if it's close,
That's just terrible.
oh,
if it is close, maybe we could have to pull it down.
I love it. I love it. That's funny.
yeah, I mean, it's a good what was the total cost we have on this?
2.5.
2.5.
That's with the
The old
50%.
feasibility study, and what else do they have?
The plans.
Plans.
If in our current feasibility study, it's 2.5. Right?
Yeah.
It's definitely was more. In 2020.
Yeah.
The cost it was over 3 million. I know it was.
Wow, but you'd have ended up with a big building, I assume.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd have-
No, it wasn't that much
It
bigger.
wasn't that-
What's that?
Square footage, because I think they didn't leverage the basement. If I
Right.
remember right, 'cause
Yeah.
they ripped it out and then
And
started
it was,
flat.
I don't recall it being, anything being 2 floors, was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, one was like a porch, like a outside kind of pavilion type.
I don't think there was use of it. Look, I don't want to misspeak. I don't remember.
No worries.
I don't remember. There may have been a downstairs.
They may have been an option that had
Right.
2 floors.
I feel like Fred's storage was still.
There was one option that was just like an open pavilion, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, so there was an open pavilion. Oh, is that it?
Let's get everything.
Yeah, yeah.
18.
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah, 2018. We're in here in 2016, so.
So we got a PDF of rectory reuse options, first and second floor plans for the
Okay.
rectory, and just a general email thread.
Yeah. It's sad that I don't recall it as well.
There's plenty of other things in life to be worried about. That's okay. That's not sad.
Yeah, there was certainly that main floor. It was either like an open, like you said, a pavilion, enclosed space, or it was just like a patio.
Right.
That was the 3 different options. But if it's a patio, I mean, certainly the patio and the, what did you call it, pavilion, right? Patio would not have had anything underneath it.
Nope.
It would not have.
Nope.
So,
And it wouldn't meet our current asks or current needs of
Correct. The needs were different.
community
Yes,
space. Like,
the needs were different then.
That's okay.
That's all I had.
and if we get that,
Installed away.
I mean,
Well,
let's-
We got it. We'll get it back, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Okay,
Well, cool.
so I will email Rebecca and get those back. I'll just ask her, if she could have somebody just.
Yeah.
by.
Perfect.
would be good. And I think they have I know they have our huge roll of.
Building plans, yeah, I put that down too, yeah.
Cool.
And that's it.
Nice.
All right, I think I can,
Then I'll put forward a motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Enjoy Thanksgiving.
You too. All right, thank you, Elena. Are you still on the